Hey everyone, welcome to this explainer. If you're looking to really master this lesson, you are in the exact right place. Today, we're diving into a pretty intense question from your text. Will the oceans live or die? We're going to break down the reading, tackle the vocabulary by looking at synonyms and antonyms, and answer those comprehension questions together. Let's get right into it.
Here's our roadmap for today. 1. Introduction, ocean life. 2. Text reading and vocabulary. 3. Whales versus fish. 4. Comprehension questions. And 5. The farming solution.
Section 1. Introduction, Ocean Life. So take a look at the page right in front of you. It's a really rich layout, right? You've got that bold title, those massive fishing ships next to all that ocean life. But honestly, the most important part here are those handwritten notes and translations. They're basically our treasure map for this lesson, showing exactly how an engaged student interacts with the text. If we zoom in on that pre-reading section at the top, you'll see some handwritten answers. These are super helpful because they perfectly frame the problem. They tell us that these devastating changes in the oceans have taken about 30 years to reach this breaking point. And the immediate solution? Well, it's pretty clear. We need to stop overfishing and stop polluting. Section 2. Text reading and vocabulary. The author literally kicks off the first paragraph with a punch. We risk a terrible man-made disaster, the death of the oceans. Notice how the text doesn't blame nature here. It points the finger directly at us, at human actions like using those huge fishing nets and coastal pollution. It's setting a very serious, cautionary tone right from the jump. Now, understanding the vocabulary in context is absolutely crucial. Let's break down this table from the handwritten notes. We've got the English word fast, which the notes translate to Arabic, and its English synonym from the text is quick. Then there's huge, mapped to its synonym, enormous. We also see collapsing, meaning falling apart, with the synonym falling. And finally, an antonym. We have modern, and its exact opposite, or antonym, is ancient. Tracking these synonyms and antonyms is honestly your golden ticket to mastering the English language. Section 3. Whales versus fish. The text lays out this really fascinating timeline about whale hunting. 2 centuries ago, whales were hunted for oil and meat. Fast forward to the 1940s, and modern technology made hunting them so easy that their numbers started collapsing. From the 1950s all the way through the 1980s, entire species were basically wiped out. But then, in 1985, something amazing happened. The world actually took decisive action and stopped catching them. It's a true environmental success story, proving that global change is possible. But when we compare whales to fish, it's a totally different story. Whaling stopped in 1985, and those populations are slowly bouncing back. Fish, though, they're still being caught freely. So the text asks, can we just stop fishing like we stopped whaling? And the shocking answer is almost certainly not. Why? Because it's incredibly complex. People don't rely on whales as a staple food anymore, but there are millions of hungry people worldwide who literally depend on fish just to survive. Section 4. Comprehension questions. Okay, let's test what we've learned. True or false? Fishing is the only cause of the problem. Think about that for a second, based on what we read in that first paragraph. Is overfishing the only thing to blame here? That is false. If you look back at the text, it explicitly says near the coasts, they are often caused by pollution. So the big takeaway here is that the death of the oceans comes from 2 main things: overfishing out in the deep waters and pollution closer to the coasts. All right, let's try another one. True or false? Only a few countries agreed to stop catching whales. In the notes, there's a handwritten X next to this, which tells us it's false, but let's check the text to see exactly why. And yes, it's definitely false. Paragraph 2 plainly states, in 1985, almost every country agreed to stop catching whales. It wasn't just a handful of nations, it was a massive global effort. See? When you read the text closely, answering these comprehension questions is a total breeze. Section 5. The farming solution. So what's the solution? The text points out that our ancestors figured out land farming a really long time ago to feed themselves. Now the argument is that we need to do the same thing with the oceans. In fact, fish farms are already expanding along the coasts. Now, of course, the text admits the counter-argument. A lot of people say wild fish simply taste better than farmed fish. And there's a neat little Arabic translation for wild jotted down in the student notes there, too. But it really begs the question, is taste the most important factor right now? The text wraps it all up with this pretty profound thought. that is still much better than losing all the fish in the world. And we really have to give a huge shout out to the author and educator Randa Abu-Snowbar for putting together this highly valuable scientific material. She really boxes us into a corner with two choices: accept farmed fish that might not taste quite as good, or literally lose all the fish on the planet. It's a tough dilemma that leaves us thinking deeply about our consumption. So what do you think? Is the taste of wild fish really worth sacrificing our oceans for?